Established in 1968, the MPAA rating system supposedly exists to inform parents about a film's content, with the 5 ratings G, PG, PG-13, R, and NC-17. A rating also includes a short, vague, and pretty unhelpful piece of text to describe why the film got its rating. This system has been surrounded with much controversy, though, because according to a Wired article, the ratings are controlled by the big 6 motion picture studios, Walt Disney, Paramount, Sony, 20th Century Fox, Universal, and Warner Brothers, which makes all their ratings biased. Another big problem with the system is that it seems to be very outdated, with access to basically anything on the internet nowadays. I am your host, Audrey, and we have 3 guests here today, Elijah, Marcella, and Andre. So, what do you guys think in general about the current rating system?
I think it should be updated. Like, one thing that I think is really funny to point out is the fact that if you say the F word one time, you're chilling, and it's PG-13, but if you say it more than once, then it's like, you've crossed the line, pal, that's rated R. So I think that's, like, there's just weird things like that, where it's just, like, too simple to differentiate like that, and it should be updated or changed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that the system should probably be more clearly defined. Like, a lot of rated R movies are rated R because of violence, but then at the same time, a lot of PG-13 movies have that same similar violence, just might not have the same language, which I guess would make sense, but then the rated R movie shouldn't be rated R for violence. It should be rated R for language.
Mm-hmm.
Plus also, like, it can't just be monopolized by, like, certain corporations only for capitalism.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think it should be, like, early viewers decide, like, or they take a poll after early viewers and see, like, was this really that bad, or did they just say the F word twice, or, like, instead of actual, like, companies and everything. I guess it could go both ways, but...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and also they won't be taking into account like how each individual child matures at different paces, and then other parents will just trust someone else to somehow know how mature their child is if they can watch that movie.
Mm-hmm.
What would you put in place of the current rating system?
There needs to be another system because you can't have, like, a kid that's, like, 6 or something exposed to, like, some graphic material without knowing if there is no rating system. So there should be a system or something put in place to, like, help prevent that, but I'm not sure what that is.
Yeah, this question made me have to think for a second, because even though there are flaws within the rating system, it still tends to work for the most part. I mean, parents sometimes still feel the need to, like, watch a TV show or watch a movie beforehand just to make sure, or to know, like, if there are parts that they should skip, which I guess that is something that parents shouldn't have to do. Ratings should just, maybe be more specific instead of so broad, and It should be rated by more people as opposed to just one company, because then they can just pick and choose how they're rating things.
Mm-hmm. If you were a parent, how would you go about this problem with your own child?
I don't think ignorance is protection. I think a lot of children are smarter than adults give them credit. So by overprotecting a kid, you're not protecting them. You're just keeping them in the dark and not preparing them for what's actually out there. At the same time, it's different for every family and every parent. So I can't necessarily say that there's a right and wrong way to let your kids watch stuff. So
Plus, like you said earlier, maybe, like, the parent watching it beforehand to see if it's actually good enough for their kid would help.
I still think, like, it would be better if it was just early viewers deciding it, and it was, like, a poll across, like, many different viewings, because then it's more, like, based instead of corporation.
And I think that usually parents don't, like, children are a lot more mature than their parents think they are. So, like, they might think they're keeping them safe or whatever, but the child actually does know about all of that stuff because of, like, real life and the internet, access to the internet. And so